So for those out there who have never heard of Morocco Method products, can you tell us a little bit about your hair care products and what makes them stand out over other natural hair care products?
Yeah, I would say first of all that we've been in business 50 years, and what makes us different than everybody else is that we're 5 elements. So I teach Qigong, and it's fire, air, earth, water, ether. So we have 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 senses. Everything that we have basically going on in the universe is in 5 levels. So I've created the shampoos to be fire, air, earth, water, ether. What that means is that we should alternate. So when we're doing skin care, or you're doing toothpaste, or you're doing hair care, cosmetics, you should alternate, not use the same product over and over again. So we have, and also the same thing with our conditioners. We have 5 different types of conditioners, 5 elements.
So there are many hair care products on the market that claim to be natural. What does that actually mean, and how are your products different?
Well, the word natural is probably synonymous now with the word organic, which no longer exists. So people are saying they're natural when, if they say they have like aloe vera in their product, or they have like olive oil in the product, you'll find out that it's made in a laboratory. So we're really into education here. We want people to really get savvy and find out, like if you're buying, when you go to shop, you really want to look at the ingredient list and find out, is this aloe vera really from the aloe vera plant? Is it a fillet? Or is it actually made in a laboratory and it's a chemical? So unfortunately, the labeling laws since 1934, there's no really strict labeling laws. So they can say this is a natural hair care, but when you read the ingredient list, you'll find out that there's a lot of chemicals in it. Or they can say they are organic. All the organic means today is that it's certified by the FDA. Doesn't mean anything else. So we really need, so education is really critical for our health and for our well-being. So we want to get savvy, do a lot of more Googling, be transparent. And you can ask companies like, exactly what is this ingredient? They have to disclose that. Because like if you look at ingredient list, they may say that this is a fragrance. Well, what does that mean? Is that a natural rose essential oil? Or is that just a fragrance of rose made in the laboratory? So not to get too complicated, but there's a big difference between natural that can be on a label and nature. So if you really want to find out, is this from nature? Is this really an ingredient that we're getting from the plant itself? Or is it laboratoried?
I completely agree. I've noticed when I wash my hair with your products that they don't lather. What's up with that? And why is it important?
Yeah, so the only thing that lathers is sodium lauryl sulfate. And now there's 38 different names to SLS because a lot of companies are afraid of it because it's so carcinogenic. But what that means is they created lather in the World War II to degrease engines and factories during the war. And that was the only thing that created this enormous amount of foam. Then right after World War II, I think it was around 1952, that Breck did this amazing commercial where there was this beautiful model with foam all the way up on top of her head, looked like a beehive. And it said, luxury shampoo. And everybody got addicted to this foam. They said, oh, the more it foams, the better. But that's not true, because anything that foams is really from sulfuric acid. So it's true, our shampoos don't foam because we use surfactants that don't foam, like we use green tea. And China's been using that for thousands of years for cleaning. They even clean their silk with it. And there's Sangre Dragon from South America, and there's different natural surfactants from around the world that our ancestors have been using for thousands of years to cleanse their hair, scalp, and body with. And that's why we don't foam, because we don't have sulfuric acid in our products.
That's really important to know, and I have noticed a huge difference in my hair after starting using Morocco Method products. In fact, my hair wasn't even able to get past my shoulders, and now it's almost down here, which is really amazing to me. I'd like to point out that today I only used one product to style my hair, and I didn't even use a blow dryer.
So all you need is Morocco Method, the 5 elements.
I used the blood of the dragon gel to style my hair today when I got out of the shower.
That's
So
100%
people
natural.
making, yes, with aloe, with real aloe.
We
So
actually
people
use a
making,
fillet of the aloe vera plant. We take the very center cut and they take that out, which is called the fillet of the aloe vera. And that's about 95% what's in our styling gel, which you just mentioned. And then we also basically have some herbs and some minerals in there for conditioning the hair.
yeah, it smells just like aloe. It's so fresh smelling. I love using it. And I even make my own hair waves, ocean wave spray that I add it to there along with the pearlescence cream. And it gives me really good waves. I love texturizing with it.
Well, that's a
Um,
very
so
unique way of combining the two of them together. So you're using the pearlescence cream rinse with the blood of a dragon styling gel together.
And I'll add salt to it too, some Epsom and pink Himalayan salt, and make it a little spray to make curls for my hair.
That's excellent usage. Yeah, I love when people get very creative and figure out how to use different products and multi-usage them. That's wonderful.
Well, and actually today I'll be sharing this with this video, so people will be able to find that recipe with this video on my blog.
Oh,
Anyways, back to the topic. Today I really want to talk about detox because it just seems to be the biggest topic when people ask me questions with hair and making the switch to natural hair care. What kinds of symptoms are they going to experience when they go through detox?
yeah, so that's a great question because we're basically a product line that advertises, and we're proud to say that all the Morocco Method products detox your hair and your scalp. So what does that literally mean? Well, first of all, when you start using any of our shampoos, it's going to start stripping off the wax that's been built up from other hair care products, and there's a lot of different buildup of different chemicals. So that's going to start getting stripped away from your hair follicles, and that's going to go right down into the growth pattern, right it down into the roots. And so you're going to see maybe for a day or two your hair could be a little bit matted or looking kind of dry, or it could be a couple of weeks actually if you really have a lot of chemical usage for a long period of time. But what's happening is a really good process. It's like people doing a liver cleanse, or if you're just doing a detox yourself on your diet. If you actually fast for a while, you're going to start getting toxins out of your system, right? Or out of your organs. So that's the great part about any detox program. So Morocco Method actually starts stripping away all this buildup, and it goes down deeper into the sebaceous glands, which is our oil glands. It goes into the growth patterns. It grows down into the roots, and it starts pulling out toxins from all those areas and making everything a lot more alive and more able to grow healthy, luxurious hair.
One of the most common detox symptoms that I get a ton of questions on is what is that sticky, goopy stuff that comes off the scalp? And why does my hair get so matted, tangled, and heavy?
Great question. So a lot of times when people are brushing their hair, so we have a line of brushes that are all natural boar bristle. They say that their brush is all full of this white, gooey stuff. Well, that should be shocking enough to realize that that white goopy stuff is your hair care coming out of your scalp that's been ingested into your scalp for years or probably decades. So if we're actually using conditioners, if you're using shampoos, you're basically spraying your hair with different styling products, that you have to realize that 70% of everything that goes on our skin, including our scalp, is ingested. That's going down into our scalp. Eventually it goes into the bloodstream and it gets settled into our organs. So that white goopy stuff needs to come out. It's very, very dangerous. It's caused disease. And it's probably a buildup of sodium lauryl sulfates. It could be a buildup of parabens, which are artificial preservatives. And then there's PEG. So when you look at a hair care product and it says PEG number 9, or it could be PEG 6, that's literally paint. So when you go to the paint store and you order paint, you'll see PEG 6, PEG 9, PEG 37. So those are actually pigments of paint, and that's what they use in hair care and skin care in cosmetics. So those are parabens. Then we have all of these different styling products, which really have a lot of different preservatives in them, and they're basically causing that white goofy stuff. So that's what's coming out into your brush and onto your scalp. So you should be grateful. That's the ultimate detox project. You want to get that out. So next time you shampoo and condition, your hair is luxurious and shiny, and you don't see anything artificial coming out of your scalp onto your brush.
Yeah, it's really gross.
Very.
So
Very.
my detox period lasted a little over 2 months. How long does the detox period normally last, and is it the same for everybody?
It's very individual. So some people can be a couple of hours, some people can be a day or 3, some people can be a week, but 2 months is a very long time. So you're probably very healthy, and basically that's been an enormous detox process. It's been pulling out at a very deep level. That's why you've noticed it for 2 months. But how long was it before your hair started looking pretty normal?
It took about a month before it felt, after I washed my hair, before it felt soft. It felt like I needed conditioner a lot in the beginning. It felt so rough, but I used to dye my hair and use all kinds of products. I would never have been able to come out with just one product in the morning and make my hair look like this before.
Yes, that's a really good point. Is basically what's happening, Christina, is that the dye is really one of the worst chemicals of all. So bleaching one's hair, dyeing one's hair, those are coal tars. There's a lot of petroleum in there and a lot of tar. So that kind of stuff really settles down into the scalp because you're leaving it on your scalp and hair for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. And you're doing that every 4 or 6 weeks, and you do that over a period of years or decades. So that's really a culprit. And so our hair care really helps you detox that out of your system, which is very healthy, very beneficial. So, and then are you starting to do our henna now instead of doing dyes?
I have been using henna for almost a year now, and my hair is totally different with henna. I love henna. I also like to mix it with a bunch of herbs to get just the right color I'm looking for.
Good, good, very good. So the henna is a natural plant, and you can, like when you go to buy henna in the store, you may find henna that has a lot of additives to it, and they add different chemicals into it to give you different coloring. But Morrocco Method at the 5 Elements Hair Care has no additives in the henna whatsoever, and we actually buy it from growers directly in India. So our henna is 100% plant-based only. And we get different colors. We can't get dozens of colors, but we have we have a neutral, a colorless. So you can do that for conditioning. Then we have our 3 shades of brown. We have light brown, medium brown, and dark brown. And then we have black, so you can mix and match those that go lighter or darker. So you always start off lighter because you can never go lighter later, and then you can always go darker as you desire. Then we have this really fabulous henna, which is a blonde. And so the blonde henna has to be done 2 or 3 times, and if you have any white or gray hair, it'll give you a sun streaking process better than any hairdresser could ever do. But I'm sure that, are you mixing like different shades of brown to get your desired color now?
Yeah, I mix a little bit of mahogany and brown, and I like to add hibiscus especially to my mix to give it more red highlights in the sunshine.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so you need to be creative with henna. That's the great part about it. And you can mix and match different shades. And so you start off lighter, and then you say, well, I want to be a little bit red, or I want to be less red, or I want to be a little darker, or a little bit lighter, or I want more highlights, less highlights. And so then exactly what you're talking about, Christina, is excellent. And you can get creative with that. And then once you get the desired color that you want, every one of our clients, which we have tens of thousands of clients using henna now, say they will never, ever go back to bleach or dyes again. Never.
No way. My hair never had this shine after I dyed it with conventional dyes. And I get so many compliments on the color of it in the way that it shines in the sunlight. And people People always ask me, who does your hair? And I'm like, Morrocco Method. So back to the detox period. Let's see, with regular hair care products, I had to wash my hair daily to keep the oil at bay. How often do you suggest one washes their hair with these products?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So it's pretty individual. So like in the winter, you may be shampooing less. So maybe like 2 or 3 times a week or once a week. In the summer, you may be doing it twice a day, once every other day. But individually, what's happening is that we teach people also to start brushing your hair. So besides shampooing, this is a way to dry brush your hair, is to dry shampoo your hair. So we have literature and videos on how to brush your hair. We have natural boar bristles. So that's one way. And you bend over and stand up. It takes out all the excess oil out of the back and the nape. So that's why your hair used to be really oily. So you bend over, stand up. So you're taking the excess oil out of the back, putting it in the front, which you hardly have any oil in, and it makes your hair nice and moisturized. Then we have a scalp massager. So the scalp massager is 100% rubber, a pure 100% rubber based. And we have this made for us. No one in the world has a natural scalp massager. And that gets a lot of the oil and air circulating and stimulated so that your hair and scalp doesn't get so oily. But as far as shampooing goes, you'll shampoo less and less with Morrocco Method. And because that we're super concentrated, you're going to find out that, like Christina, with your type of hair, you can add 50% of water to the shampoo. That's how concentrated we are. Mm-hmm. That way it gets down into the roots better. So what happens is that you just make parts with long, thick hair, put a little bit of the shampoo into the parts, and then start massaging in. And then you don't have to massage it all through the hair. Then when you rinse it, then the shampoo goes through the hair. And there's no foaming at all. So people will say, oh my God, there's no foam, let me use some more. Oh my God, there's no foam, let me use some more. It's not necessary. If you use like a quarter size of the shampoo, that's plenty. And for longer, thicker hair, you can keep adding water to the bottle, and the bottle will last you 2, 3, 5 times longer. So when I'm completely out of this shampoo in this bottle, then I fill it up with half with water and I shake it, and I get about 2 to 3 more full shampoos. That's how concentrated in what's inside the bottle. So you want to make sure that you get all of it out until there's nothing left but water. So how many times do you shampoo? In the beginning, probably more, and as you go on, probably less. So if you're actually brushing your hair, you're dry shampooing. And if you're scalp massaging, that's also helping the sebaceous glands. But in the detox process, you're basically getting your hair, all that buildup stripped off of your hair follicles. So then you'll find that, oh, I don't need to shampoo as often, and my hair really looks great. It's nice and shiny. It has a great luxury to it, and it's the sheen is what you're after. So after the detox process and your hair comes out on the other side 100% normal, people are going to say, wow, what have you done to your hair? It looks great. Especially after you stop dyeing it and bleaching it, it's really going to have an amazing, luxurious sheen to it and very natural looking. And as it grows out, now you have 100% natural hair, and everyone's going to be like amazed, starting with yourself, how healthy you look and feel.
Yeah, pretty much every day my husband gets to hear me come out of the bathroom going, can you believe how long my hair is? He laughs at me a lot. But, you know, I've actually done that trick that you said to put water in the bottle and shake it, because that's every penny that I'm trying to save there. Mm-hmm. I had to teach my husband how to use the shampoo, and I keep a little coffee mug in the bathtub, and I pour a little bit of my shampoo in the bottom of it, and then I fill it about a quarter of the way with water and mix it around, and then I pour it on my head and give myself a good massage. Works really well.
That's an excellent way to do it. And then when you have, like, this is the 2-ounce bottle, we have the now large 12-ounce bottles. Yeah. But as you start using it, you can start adding a little bit of water, shaking it up, use it, then keep adding water to it as you go. Then when there's nothing left, then you'll squeeze it and there won't be anything left in it at all. Add more water, especially hot water to it. I just go in the shower and squeeze some water, maybe a third of the bottle, then you shake it up, and voila, out comes a lot more shampoo. So it's really inside there, very super concentrated. The same thing
Well,
with
and
our
everybody's trying to
conditioners.
save money too, and people do comment like, "Oh, that seems like an expensive shampoo," but I try to make sure they know it lasts a long time. That little 2-ounce bottle easily lasts me a month by myself, and I only wash my hair once or twice a week, and my husband washes his twice or 3 times a week, and we can get through a bottle like that in a long time.
Yeah, that's a really good point. People say, it's really expensive, and I say, well, first of all, you get what you pay for.
Hmm.
So our 12-ounce bottle is probably equivalent to 36 ounces in the store because that's all full of water. And
Hmm.
our 2-ounce bottle, I would say, is equivalent almost to 6 to 8 ounces of commercial stuff in the store. That's how super concentrated we are.
Hmm.
Besides that, we're 100% natural, which means that we're wild crafted. What does that mean? It means that when we go and get most of our ingredients, that people go out in the jungles and go up in the hills and go through all the different natural forests and find our ingredients so that we don't damage the natural growth pattern of nature. So it's wild crafted, and it's nothing synthetic at all. Even everything that's used is completely natural. So you go a long way, and it's really healthy. So what I suggest is you take the 5 shampoos and I light them up in the shower. So I pick from the left whatever shampoo is in there. I shampoo, then I put it back on the right. So that way, the next time I come back into the shower, I don't have to think like, which one did I use? So in the beginning, I suggest people get all 5. And if the 2 ounces are like, well, I want to put that much money into like investing and trying this, then we have our sample package, which is already packed up, 5 shampoos. They're 1-ounce bottles, and they're ready to go. So you can get this at a super premium price, which is money saving to try our shampoos. And you can say, well, I really like 1 or 2 or 3 of the shampoos. So my suggestion is to get all 5. But if you don't want to, just get the ones that you like. But if you get them, put them in the shower, pick up from the left, use it, put it back on the right. So after the 5 shampoos, you may say, no, I really like the sea, I really like the Heavenly Essence, I like the Pine Shale, but I'm not crazy right now for the Earth shampoo or the apple cider. So after a couple of months, your hair may start getting a little flat or start looking like it's not having a great hair day. So bring in the other shampoo and you'll be like amazed. Like now the Earth shampoo is doing a great job. Now the apple cider vinegar is doing a better job. Maybe the sea shampoo is use it less and bring the other shampoos in. That's why I don't use my favorite shampoos. I've always used all 5 and I alternate them because the hair and the scalp needs to have the 5 elements: the
Hmm.
fire, air, earth, water, ether. Just like we have 5 fingers, 5 toes, we have 5 senses. There's a reason for all that. There's a reason why we want to alternate through these different elements. It's very powerful and very creative. And then we go off into our conditioners. So like you're basically saying that you were using the Pearl Essence Cream Rinse with the Blood of the Dragon styling gel. So the Pearl Cream Rinse is a really great deep moisturizer for people who have damaged hair, dry hair, and if you use it lightly for normal hair and heavy if your hair is damaged, and your hair will just eat it. It's a
Hmm.
moisturizer that's necessary.
And it
Then we
smells
have,
so good.
no, the smell is amazing.
It's my favorite smelling one.
Nice. Then we have the floating lotus conditioner,
Mhm.
and that's also a moisturizer, but you can use that after you shampoo. You can massage it in, leave it in for 3, 5, 10 minutes. And actually, I use the floating lotus conditioner as a shampoo. So that'll be
Mhm.
my 6th one I bring in as my 6th element, which is the Dantian, which is our intuition, which is our 6th element. But that's another one. But it's really great to use after you shampoo to condition, and the cream rinse is excellent after the shampoo to use after it. And then the other conditioner that we have is the Euro Organic Oil. So the Euro Oil has a blend of different oils, and then you can basically, when you come out of the shower, take a couple of drops, rub them into the palms of your hair, just pat it over the top of the hair, and if your hair is dry, you can do the ends of your hair. So get more Euro Oil, and start massaging it into the ends of the hair. Then you can bend over, brush, stand up and brush, getting the Euro oil blended back and forth into the hair. And it's great in the evening before you go to bed to put a couple of drops into the hairline or just massage it into the top of the scalp, and you can leave it in all night and evening. And then there's another process that we have literature and videos for all of this. But if you really want a deep moisturizing conditioner, we recommend highly that you take the Euro oil, heavily massage it into the hair and scalp, and leave it in for 1, 2, or 3 days. What that means is, let's say that you're not going to be going out into the public this weekend. You're going to be hiking or camping or canoeing, whatever you're going to be doing. Then you can walk around with oily hair, or put your hair in a scarf, or put it in a maybe I put it into what are those when I go skiing, a ski cap. So I have a ski cap that I put on my hair and at night that I wear to bed, and I leave the oil in for 2, 3 days or 1 day. But that's what we did when we were in the indigenous, when we lived in tribes. So when people did for thousands of years, they did these kind of things. So for my ancestor, for example, are Italian, so they would use olive oil thousands of years ago, the Romans, the Venetians. And if you lived in Hawaii, you would basically start using coconut oil. And if you were down in South America, you would use bananas or avocados. The same thing with Africa. The same thing with Alaska. They use whale blubber oil. But everyone for thousands of years have used these types of natural oils to condition your skin and your hair. And that's the reason why we have the Euro oil to be in a modern time, so that you don't have to go out and smash avocados or bananas in your hair and leave it in for a couple of days. So we have a very sophisticated line of oil for moisturizing.
When I had my detox for 2 months, I wore my hair up in a bun pretty much the whole time. I always had my hair up. Is there anything we can do to speed up that detox process?
Yes, absolutely. Very good. You can really speed it up with the Zen Detox hair and scalp therapy. So this is volcanic ash, and these are millions and millions of years of decomposed forest. And it comes in a trial package. This is a 1 ouncer, but we also have a 4 ounce in a box with all the literature. We have videos on it. So to speed up your detox process, I recommend doing this. So you take the volcanic ash, and it has minerals also and herbs in here, and you add it into water, and it turns into like a really heavy cream. And you let it stay for at least 24 hours, or you can let it stay for weeks. Then you take it and you massage it into your scalp and hair. I do my whole face, my scalp, and my neck, and my shoulders. It's just like if you did a facial. So people are used to doing facials for masks, right? So the Zen Detox is the same. Pardon?
That's a great idea. I said I didn't even think about putting it on my face. That's a fabulous idea.
Yes, yes. So the Zen Detox for hair and scalp is for the whole body. So people who have psoriasis or have like rashes or any kind of skin disorders, this is excellent for acne. So basically when you do your head and scalp, if you have acne, you can put it there. You can do your whole face. You can do your body. I do my whole body when I do it. And I go out in the sun for maybe 3 to 5, 10 minutes to activate it. And then if it's too hot, I come back inside because I live in California, so we have sun all the time, fortunately. But the Zen Detox will speed up your detox process, but it also is like when people do cleanses, I suggest you do this once a season. So you start off with making a bowl of Zen Detox, and you do it once a week for 3 weeks. And then whatever's left in the bowl will last months. You just put it in the pantry or just put a little cover on it. The next time you want to use it, if it's hard as a rock, you just add water to it. And within 15, 30 minutes, it's going to get soft like cream again. But you want to do this once a season. Absolutely, just like doing a detox on what you do for a liver cleanse or for another detox process. And you do this for 3 weeks. So do it 1, 2nd, 3rd week. Once a season, every season, and you'll see an amazing difference of how clear everything gets, of how the hair sparkles. And after I do the detox, which I do myself every season, I can think the next day so much clearer, so I know it's actually detoxed my brain cells. So it's very exciting. But the product is called Zen Detox. It's online. We have a lot of literature on it, how to use it, and we have a lot of videos on all our products. So we're a high educational system. So check us out there.
Yeah, I love all the information you guys provide. It really helps out when you're starting out this process. There are a lot of people with natural hair care who are just getting into it, and they are reading blogs and being all over the internet and starting the no-poo thing. Now, I know from my own personal experience and subsequent research that baking soda and Castile soap are way too alkaline for your hair. What do you think about the no-poo movement?
That's another excellent question. So your hair is 6.0 alkaline balance, and you really want to stay there. So all of our products are 6.0 acid and alkaline balance perfectly, but the no-poo definitely can make your hair very dry. It can dry out the hair follicles. It can go right down into the roots and dry them out. So
my hair was falling out.
So apple cider vinegar is a good one, to rinse with. But our products are designed so if you don't want to shampoo your hair that often, basically what we're suggesting is you can take the Zen Detox. Again, we're multifaceted usage for all of our products. You can take the Zen Detox, just the powder, and put it in your hair and actually massage it into the hair, and that will start cleaning it. And then you can get our brush. We have two different sizes. We have the small purse and travel size. Then we have the really large leave into your personal care to massage. So you put the Zen Detox in the hair, massage it all the way through like the powder, and then you bend over, brush, stand up and brush, and you brush it out and brush it all the way through all of your hair. That's another great way of not having to shampoo very often. And again, the scalp massager, you want to take this and massage the scalp. It's good for the whole body, actually. It's very invigorating. But the no-poo movement, it's the right thought, but you have to think about what did the animals do. So a lot of us, when I say a lot of us, what I'm meaning is a lot of naturalists, like I teach Qigong for 35 years, I'm a Qigong teacher, and Qigong comes from the origin of animals, watching animals, what they do when they got sick, and how to basically do they get very powerful, like when a cougar is going to attack, or an elephant. What do? How do they do that? Those are Qigong movements. Those are sounds and movements of how to be powerful and move. And then the same thing is happening with the no-poo movement. We have to be very intelligent and realize that the animals roll around in dirt, right? So my cat, when I let my cat out, the first thing it wants to do is go in the dogs. It goes out and rolls around in the dirt. It goes lays in the sun and rolls around in the dirt some more. So they're shampooing their fur. That's what they're doing. Then they go down they find a riverbed or they find a lake or a stream, wherever they are, and they go in there and run around in the water and then shake it off afterwards. So that's like the original shampooing techniques. Then in China, several thousands of years ago, they realized that the green tea, the extract of the green tea was great for washing hair. So this has been going on for thousands of years. But to avoid the way of making the shampoo, which is very time-consuming, we've created the 5 Elements hair care. But to get back to your question specifically, yes, you want your alkaline and you want your acid balances at a 6.0. You don't want them to get out of balance because now you're doing more damage than not shampooing your hair. You're getting your growth patterns, you're getting your sebaceous glands out of sync. Those are your oil glands, and you don't want them to get unbalanced because you're going to get more of a problematic situation. So apple cider vinegar is a very good rinse, and no-poo once in a while is not a problem. But all the time, I haven't found anyone who finds it, over a period of a year or so that they can continue it. It's impossible. It's really damaging.
Yeah, I experienced such damage to my hair, and I went searching for my answers after that, which was how I found you guys. I also love to steep my apple cider vinegar in herbs like marshmallow root and horsetail before I use it for my rinse. I love apple cider vinegar for my hair.
Yeah, we have horsetail, we have marshmallow root, we have all of that in our shampoo. So we've done that for you. We've taken all these amazing wild crafted ingredients and brought them all together. So 5 different shampoos: fire, air, earth, water, ether, and then our conditioners. So we also have a conditioner pack if you want to try it. Besides our 5 shampoos, we have a conditioner pack in these little bottles, and they're basically floating lotus conditioner, the cream rinse. We have blood of a dragon styling gel. We have the Zen detox in here. So
Hmm.
all of the conditioners are in this 5 pack also. That will help people try it and see for yourselves the effect that Christina is talking about of really using a truly wild-crafted natural hair care line from A to Z. We have answers for everything, from hair color to brushing to stimulation to detoxing to keeping your hair in perfect alkaline balance, and then alternating everything. It's the healthiest way to go. And you actually, your energy levels will start getting. Didn't you notice your energy levels increasing as you stop dyeing your hair and using chemical processes?
Definitely, a lot changed for me. I get nerve pains from surgeries I've had and stuff, and when I stopped using hair dyes, there's neurotoxins in those hair dyes, and some of my nerve pains quit coming as often and as intense when I quit dyeing my hair.
Nothing's worse than dyeing and bleaching one's hair. I've worked with a lot of people who are naturalists, and some of them are really extremists with the raw and the vegan process, and they've been raw or vegan for decades, and then they're bleaching their hair or dyeing their hair. And once they hear this is the most carcinogenic element you can do to yourself, they stop immediately. But the other
Hmm.
people, as we come down the ladder, that are not really dedicated naturalists but want to be and are trying, they get the message and they go, well, let me try henna. And then as they come down the ladder to other people, they're going like, well, I don't really want to give up my hair color. I don't want to give up my dye. But after a while, by trying our shampoos and our conditioners and using our different moisturizers and brushing, they go, now it's time to really try this. So you're correct, Christina. Eventually, you want to stop the hair dye and start henna, and you'll be happy. No one's ever gone back to hair dye from using henna, ever.
Yeah, I will never go back. My hair responds so much differently. And I mean, I used to bleach my hair. I used to be a bleach blonde California girl. And I know from personal experience that those dyes can be terribly destructive to your hair. Um, does the blonde henna dry out hair like most lightening hair products?
Yup, that's a good question. Glad you're asking me. Our blonde henna is a conditioner, actually. So all of our hennas actually condition your hair. So this is actually what we're doing is it's 100% plant-based, and you mix it. We have a whole video in the educational literature of how to do the blonde henna, but it actually conditions the hair. It doesn't dry it out at all. So what's drying your hair out is people that are doing bleaching or they're using lemon. People go out and squeeze lemon in their hair and it's lay out in the sun. That's very drying and damaging. And then, of course, all the bleaching is horrible chemicals. But our blonde henna, you put it on, leave it in for 30 minutes to 2 hours, and it takes all your white hair or gray hair, and it turns it into a nice light blonde effect, like sun streaking. And it'll be 100% conditioned, so no drying effect at all. The opposite. Your hair will be really shiny, luxurious, and very healthy.
Now, most lightening products turn darker hair, a kind of orange color. Does the blonde henna do that? How does it work on darker shades of hair?
Yeah, so it doesn't work on darker shades of hair. It only works on white hair or gray hair. So gray hair is the new blonde. White hair is the new blonde. So if a person can, really go natural, I suggest go gray. Look at me. My hair is like a pewter. You can see it. Yeah?
Oh, yeah, it's very shiny too.
Yeah. So I use Morrocco Method for 50 years and do all the things I'm talking about. But the blonde henna will only cover white or gray hair. It
Okay.
won't. You can put it on, like a person who has like 5% white hair, gray hair, or 50% or 70%. When you put it on, it only will turn those white hairs and gray hairs a light blonde, but it won't do anything to the brown hairs or black hairs at all. So you can just mash it on, squeeze it in, just like doing mud. It's really easy to use. You don't have to be a hairdresser to figure it out. Like you know from what you've been doing your henna, it's very easy to use. And then the blonde henna is give you a sunstreak effect, which you go into the salon today costs hundreds of dollars. Like when I did sunstreaking, we charged thousands of dollars, and that was at Kenneth's salon in New York City. In those days, we did what was called tortoise shell streaks. But then the blonde henna has replaced all of this to replace all the chemical processes. So if you were bleaching your hair blonde, you really understand how damaging and drying bleaching is.
Yes, that's why it took so long to detox. Speaking of the salon, I have personally experienced the difficulty behind finding a stylist that knows anything about natural hair care, and not all of us feel comfortable enough trimming our hair ourselves. Do you have any tips for us when we go to the salon to get our hair trimmed?
Yeah, I have both sides of the coin with that. When I have do it yourself and I have go to the salon. So number one, I was a master hair cutter. What I suggest is that when you're walking around town shopping, or if you're going anywhere and you see a lady in your local community with fabulous looking hair, go over to her and compliment her or him and ask them who cuts their hair. That's number one. So it's hard because all the hairdressers say, of course I do great haircuts. And then a lot of my clients before me, a lot of people I talk to, you go into the salon, you say, I want half an inch cut. Just cut off the ends. They cut off 6 to 12 inches.
Yeah.
Or they just hack it. And these are top salons that charge a lot of money. So this is very traumatic. So I suggest, number one, looking around, trying to find somebody with fabulous hair like yourself, go over to them, talk to them, ask them who does it, and then you need to interview the hairdresser. Don't just make an appointment and go. And I suggest going to 3 different hairdressers. I mean, after all, your hair is one of your crowning glory. It's the beautifying effect of the energy we have, and it contains our chi. So you have the right to interview a hairdresser. So I say, call up the salon, talk to someone and say, who do you have that only cuts? You don't want someone that cuts, colors, perms, does all that stuff. So you try to find someone that only cuts to get a really good cut. Then you go in and interview them and ask them, like, exactly, do you only blunt snip cut? Do you actually use a razor? Do you cut it wet? Do you cut it dry? And look at our website and we'll explain to you what all that means. Then you say, if I asked you for a half-inch cut and you cut me 6 inches, how do I react to that? What are we going to do about that? Can you promise me that if I say I want 1-inch cut, you won't cut any more than that? And if I want a blunt cut, or if I tell you what I want, and then can you do that? And I don't have to later on say, you ruined my hair. And so you need to confront the hairdresser in a nice way. Make sure that you're going to trust them, right?
Definitely.
That's number one. So that's all on our website. And then you take our shampoo with you, and you can say, I only want you to use my products. They're not allowed to shampoo with the bar junk that they have in it, and they're not allowed to spray your hair with hairspray, which is paint, or to use any kind of styling products. No, I have my own styling products. So that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is, Christina, with your type of hair, you will do a better job cutting it yourself than any hairdresser can do. So if you're like shoulder length or longer, all you have to do is come out of the shower with wet hair. Then you comb it down, brush it down, right? Then you just take the ends of the hair, you pull it down, and you have a complete control. We have movies, we have videos, we have educational literature to show you how to do this. And you hold the hair and you cut off 1/4 of an inch, or a 1/2 inch, or an inch. But you can do this once a month. And as you know, we have the lunar hair cutting cycle, which is the 5 ways, the 5 elements to cut your hair. So when you cut your hair, there's 5 different days a month. You can do lengthening, strengthening, thickening, root work, or beautifying. So you pick one of those things. If you want your hair to grow longer, you pick lengthening. If you want thicker hair, stronger hair, you pick out strengthening or root work. But if you want your hair to be wavy, if it's straight and you want your hair to wave, or if it's not looking great, you want it to be beautiful, you can cut it on a beautifying day. But you want to always check on our website because those dates are very powerful, very, very powerful hair cutting dates. And people will grow hair like, say, 3 to 4 inches a year. If you cut it during the lunar cycle, you can grow between 6 to 8 inches a year. So
Wow.
people say, my hair only grows to a certain length and it won't grow any longer. Well, that's because the ends are split. So once you have one hair, let's say this is one hair, and the end splits, it does this, right? So now it's splitting from here and going down. And so your hair is getting broken. So all the ends are splitting up. So your hair is growing from your roots, of course. The hair is growing out, but it's the ends that it's breaking and coming up. That's why people can only grow to a certain length, and they can't go any longer because they have bad hair techniques and their habits are not well done. They have not good hair care products, and they're not cutting on the lunar cycle. So once you start cutting your hair on the lunar cycle, you add in the scrubbing, the scalp massaging, the brushing, the hair care products that are all natural. You can grow your hair as long as you want, as thick as you want. Today we're having an epidemic with women, which has never happened in the history of hair before. Women are now globally having hair loss and thinning. 30% of all the women globally are having 30% hair loss and thinning, which has never happened before. It's a new epidemic. And where is it coming from? It's coming from that the hair care products in the salons and the pharmacies are more powerful. The chemicals are more concentrated than they ever been before in history. So we have to be very careful of what we're doing in the salons and buying products in commercial spaces. But cutting your hair, really easy. Look at our videos. Look at our educational literature. You want to basically wet your hair, comb it out, brush it out, cut it once a month. Even if you cut it 1/16 of an inch, what you're doing is you're shocking the roots. Every time you snip the ends of the hair, that sends a message to the roots. It's like a lunar hair care cycle. It may be a little advanced for most people, but it's equivalent to 12 to 18 acupuncture treatments. And that's why the hair is growing faster, thicker, and more, the root work is connecting to the roots, and it's shocking them to make your hair follicles produce more hair, thicker hair, healthier hair. So the whole process of cutting your own hair couldn't be better. I highly recommend it. And then if that's not an option, the other side of the coin again, interview the hairdresser. Go there, interview them before you allow them to touch you. So you feel safe and you're not going to walk out with having your hair cut 12 inches shorter than you requested or having it all chopped up. So then it's going to take you 1, 2, 3 years to grow it back out again. So it's worth the effort.
I agree. I've experienced that with hairstylists. My hair has been chopped off in the wrong ways so many times. And the combination of all the dyeing I did, my hair was splitting. Like I said earlier, I couldn't get it to pass my shoulders ever. It just kept staying one length. And so I was so surprised when I changed and my hair started growing past my shoulders. My new goal is mermaid hair.
Oh, right. I love it. I can visualize that on you very easily. Goddess energy. So yeah, so you're cutting your own hair. So have you seen the speed up of your hair growing faster? And have you seen like the ends of your hair getting thicker? How has that been working for you?
I have been cutting my hair on the lengthening days for the most part, so I could lengthen my hair. I do sometimes cut it on the root work days because I figure length also has to do with your roots, like you said. And my hair went from slow growth to really fast growth. I mean, I feel like I saw an inch in a month easy, and I was just so surprised by that. I'm Greek, though, so my hair has always been really kind of thick.
Lucky. So how often do you cut your hair? Do you cut your hair like once a month? Do you cut it every 2 months? And how much do you cut off the ends now?
It's about every 2 months. I'm a little lazy on that. But I cut very little off. It took me a while to find a stylist that I liked, and I'm going to be moving soon, and I just found someone I like, so I get to cut my hair again anyway.
Yeah, so the less you cut off the ends, the better, because all you're doing is sealing the ends. So if people, I mean, when I worked at, when I cut hair, and we had people come in with fabulous hair, really thick, really well groomed, the ends were like nice and solid. They had to be cut once a season, no matter how thick, no matter how well groomed your hair is, to get that spectacular bounce and that thickness and that horse mane look on your hair, or that mermaid effect. You really want to cut it every 3 months, once a season, no matter what, to get those split ends, sealed, even if you only cut it 1/16 of an inch. And then again, if your hair is not that great, you can cut it once a month, once every 6 weeks, or once every 2 months, but a little bit at a time, just cutting off the ends, and you'll be shocked, I'm telling you, amazed how thick your hair will get really fast. Right, Christina? Your ends get
Definitely.
really thick.
Yeah, definitely. I just cut my hair last week. I was noticing when I did my hair that it was looking really dry, and just it wasn't at the ends. It was tangling a lot, and just the smallest amount trimmed off was night and day difference. My hair looked amazing afterwards.
Yeah, it's amazing if you just cut the ends off, you think, well, that's just the ends, and they seal the ends. But what's happening, what Christina is explaining, is that all the hair is now you can brush it, now you can comb it, because it's the ends that tangle. It's the ends that are making everything matted on the bottom. So when you try to style your hair, the ends are the culprit, not the hair, obviously. It's the ends. So if you seal the ends, even a 1/16 of an inch, a quarter of an inch every month, every couple of months, you'll be amazed how easy it is to brush, style, right? Scalp massage, all of that. Comb your hair is so much easier, and then your life will become so much stress-free, really healthy.
Oh, so much simpler. I mean, literally one product in my hair today. I did not do anything else. I just can't believe it used to take an hour to do my hair, and now it took me 5 minutes.
See, stress-free. So your life will have a lot more time to do the things that you really want to do, and you'll have a lot of people saying, don't you get a lot of compliments now on your hair? People must be saying, from where you were to where you are now a year later, when you run into people, one of the greatest barometers is if you haven't seen somebody for a while, that they stop you and say, Christina, what have you been doing to your hair?
Yes, I get tons of compliments. My sister and her husband are in the military, so I don't get to see them that often. And when the last time we FaceTimed, she has never seen me with hair past my shoulders, and she was completely shocked. She was wondering what I was doing to make my hair longer.
And more beautiful and stronger, and you
Agreed.
already have thick hair, so that's a blessing. But as you keep blunting it, it's going to get thicker and thicker. It never gets thick enough. Never. And are you brushing your hair?
Yes, in fact, before Morocco Method, I really didn't brush my hair that often, only to style it, but nobody ever taught me to brush my hair daily to help with the oils at my scalp and to help moisturize my ends. It was a totally new process for me. And I watched those videos you talked about so I could learn the process of doing it too. And I would say that it was very helpful. And I noticed a huge difference when I started brushing as to how long my hair started growing after that too.
Yeah, so it's like elements. It's like brushing your hair, using the scalp massager. Shampooing is just one element. Hair cutting with the lunar cycle is another. Conditioning is another. So all of these, I call them spokes in a wheel. So if you want your hair to look luxurious, beautiful, really shiny and radiant, you need to do all of these things. You can start off simply, slowly, try just a shampoo, then add in a conditioner, then use a scalp massager, then go into brushing your hair, then doing our, conditioners and do the Euro oil. Then we also have another line which is pretty advanced, but we have the elixir series with Morocco Method. So later on, have you tried the elixir series yet?
I have not tried those yet.
Okay, we're going to get those off to you to try. The elixir series is by every drop is highly, highly concentrated, and these are herbs and botanicals, all from wildcrafted by the drop. And so people with hair loss and hair thinning find that the elixir series does miracles to get the roots in the growth pattern, and especially the sebaceous glands, the oil glands, back into balance with the elixir series. So we have the gold and silver, we have the god and goddess, and we have the tri series. So we have 3 series of elixirs. But on hair thinning, or if you're having hair loss, I suggest go on MorroccoMethod.com, look at our website, look up the conditioners, look at the elixirs, but watch our videos like Christina's saying, and that's how you learn how to use our products. So they're very sophisticated. They're not the usual salon stuff that foam up, and then you have tons of styling products to use afterwards. Like Christina's saying, 5 minutes, and you're done, and your hair looks better than it's ever looked before when you were spending 1 or 2 hours a day on it.
Mm-hmm. It definitely helps with my getting up later in the morning.
Well, Christina, thank you for inviting Morrocco Method in, and we're really very grateful to be able to be on your website, and then now you can actually to educate your audience and also to bring them into the realm of why your hair is looking so great